Hello, this is GT500 and welcome to another GT500.org StarCraft 2 cast. I am in the upper right hand corner playing as the Cantankerous Zerg, and RedSixWhiskey is in the lower left hand corner playing as the Blue Terran. You may recognize RedSixWhiskey as my co-caster for my first cast. Now I'm playing under the name Cantankerous because Blizzard does not allow you to use numbers in your Battle.net name, so I was rather cantankerous over that, and I decided that was a pretty good name. Now you can see I'm attempting to pull off the extractor trick here. Probably not flawless execution, of course. Both me and RedSixWhiskey are bronze players, so you're not going to see anything too terribly fancy in this game. Now I am getting an overlord by my back rocks, because I know that RedSixWhiskey likes to bust down those back rocks with Marines, Marauders, and tanks. And I usually have a hard time defending against that. Then my second overlord I like to send out to the front ramp, just to keep an eye on things, even though I am terrible at actually watching the mini-map. It's better to have it down there, just in case I happen to glance at the mini-map. You can see the timing was pretty good. If I'd been watching the mini-map, I would have seen that it got there right when his SCV started scouting my base. And I did pull off a drone, and I'm not sure why I took that odd loop. Of course, I don't know if he would have done much harassment with his SCV, if it was even necessary to pull that drone off. Now at this point I'm probably late getting up my gas, because I am planning on going with Banelings. Terran liking to wall things off, as it were, and he is going with a 2 barracks wall off. Banelings will be essential in busting that down. See, I like to get my overlords in the various corners of the base as well, until I have vision over my entire base. I especially like to do that if I'm afraid of cheesers or pretty much any other kind of shenanigans that can happen in my base, because I am terrible at scouting. And you'll notice that I don't scout at all throughout this entire game, which is pretty typical of my play. It looks like I am getting my expansion down there. Got my 4 Zerglings there, covering the entrance to my base. Got a second queen out. I'm not doing anything with it, but it's out there to drop a creep tumor. I like to keep 1 for injecting larvae and 1 for dropping creep tumors. There we go. And RedSixWhiskey with 4 Marines now at the 5-minute mark. Now when I'm Terran and I'm doing a 2 barracks opening like this, by the 5-minute mark I usually have 8 or 9 Marines. So he's definitely a little bit behind. And for some reason getting double gas. Looks like my expansion is almost done. I'm getting some more ling up. And there's my Baneling nest. It looks like I'm getting another creep tumor. Getting some drones down there to saturate that expansion. Unfortunately, you'll notice I did not set a rally point. And so these drones, they don't have anywhere to go. So it's going to be pretty funny when they pop out and they just sit there. Oh, I actually did rally that one. And that's an overlord. And I did rally for my Zerglings. I am doing a terrible job of getting that creep spread. I could drop down another creep tumor or two to help it along. It's nice to have the extra queen to drop these creep tumors, but when you forget to use her, she's useless. Unless you get attacked by some air units and need some extra firepower. Now it looks like he's pulled his barracks back and is getting a couple of bunkers. Still only has a handful of marines. Get in a factory, maybe do some siege tanks. Hopefully that's why he needed all that gas. Although it looks like I have a little more spare gas than he does. But since I'm planning on going baneling, it's understandable that I would need a little extra gas. Now here are 3 drones sitting there. As I mentioned earlier, no rally point set, and I just realized that and fixed it. And I'm getting those geysers saturated. Getting lots of zergling up. And I am slowly spreading that creep. But I should be a lot farther than this by now, if I was actually using this queen, which almost has full energy. Now you can hear the banelings coming out. And do I have? I do. Centrifugal. Anyway, I have the speed upgrade for the banelings going down. And it does not look like he has built his expansion yet. He does have a supply depot covering the back rocks, so he'll know if somebody's trying to bust in through the back. He's got his cloak research going, so he's definitely going to get some banshees up. Now these 2 bunkers here full of marines are usually a good idea. Unfortunately, when it comes to banelings, they can bust right through that. Now, it looks like I am getting burrow researched in preparation for some roaches. At this point I was thinking that I needed a roach backup plan, because even if this succeeded, I would still need something to finish off his base. Now I don't know why he's wasting energy on scans. He could be saving that up for his expansion to saturate it with mules. And that would allow him to crank out a lot of marines. Now it looks like right now both of us are spending our money, which is good. Never a good thing to see that money piling up there and not being used. He's getting out a couple of banshees, building some supply depots. You never want to be supply blocked in this game. That's always a bad thing. And here go my banelings and zerglings. I decided not to wait for the rest of the gas to turn the rest of these ling into baneling. And he is definitely not prepared for this. Now this expansion is moving out right now, but you'll notice I rallied my units to here. They're not going to see this. Unfortunately, if I'd brought them over here, they would have seen it. Now this was a bad time for him to move out. He walked right into my banelings. He was doing a good job microing away from me there. And I did not need to waste those banelings like that. I could have left that wall intact and come down here and done even more damage to his mineral line. Unfortunately, I still had them queued with hit buildings automatically, so we tried to take those out instead of doing those SCVs. But I had enough ling to finish off a good portion of the rest of those SCVs, and I'm not really sure where those ling are going. So he now only has 3 SCV left on this base, and they're not doing too good. But he has this gold expansion up here that I don't know anything about, and since I don't scout, I don't know about it until fairly late in the game. Now right now would be a great time to attack with these 9 roaches I'm building. He has 4 defenders, well, 6 if you count the banshees. And he's just going crazy, wasting his minerals on the wall-off. Now, admittedly, this wall-off is going to make it a little difficult for me to attack. And he did leave a space here for his guys to get in. And here come my roaches, and I made a huge mistake here. Why am I sending these roaches across the entire map burrowed? They move so slowly. They could have been attacking already. They might have been there before he laid down that last barracks, if they were not burrowed. And here I am doing it again, thinking I'm being clever, thinking, oh, I'll sneak in with burrowed roaches. That is a stupid idea. They're taking forever to get there, and by the time they get there, he's going to have built up some more defenses. His money's coming in, he can build up some marines. Can't really get any marauders or tanks out right now, but he's getting that gas going again. And my roaches are down here now, and I'm not sure what I'm waiting on right now. I could be attacking. Getting my hydralisk den up. Oh, I was getting some drones from, but that should not have pulled my attention away from attacking. And here I'm moving my stuff over here to check for an expansion, because I know he has to have expanded. Otherwise, he would have left the game already. And look, by the time I've come down here to check for an expansion with these burrowed roaches, he's got a siege tank with another one ready to defend this. And admittedly, this would go down pretty easy to these roaches. But he's pulling a fast one on me with these 2 Banshee that had full energy. I have no detection whatsoever. And the moment this happens, I rush and start turning overlords into overseers. Maybe not that speedily, though. There we go. I was getting my drones out of there, I guess. Unfortunately, I don't have the speed upgrade, I would believe. Oh, I do have it, so I could have sent them down there to help out these poor hydralisks, which are about to die. Then still, they're just sitting there, just chilling. And there goes one down here. But interestingly enough, knowing he's got banshees, I do not get any detection around my lair. And I just let this banshee go to town down here. And he comes and he destroys these 2. A couple of dead hydralisks. All that money, all that gas gone. Fortunately, I was smart enough to rally these to my base, so they won't sit there and die. Now, I think he did just notice my roaches moving up there. And he's got a little extra gas, so he can get more siege tank going. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. And he's got 5 of those boogers right now. And here come my roaches, slowly burrowing their way to these back rocks. A good idea to go in the back rocks, but possibly poorly executed. And I don't know why he's building this here. He had vision all along this area, not only with the Banshee, but with this tower as well. He should have seen those roaches burrowing under the ground. And right now would be a great time to cancel that expansion. But he doesn't. Now fortunately he gets his siege tanks moving down here. And if I had realized at the time that this was an expansion, I might have attacked it. In fact, I think that might have been my original plan before I saw these tanks. Now I need to burrow and get the heck out of there because I've got 5 tanks shooting at me. Okay, he did finally cancel that, but this is just kind of sitting there. Now I'm thinking, oh, I can move up and destroy what SCVs he has left and win the game. Not realizing again that this expansion's up here. And I moved my roaches away a bit, getting several more of them killed before engaging. That was a stupid decision. And another stupid decision, I would believe. No, I did not. I thought I had tried to attack this. But no, we went straight for the Marines and Marauders. That cut down their numbers, while the siege tanks cut up my poor roaches. Now you can see I'm attempting to expand again over here. And I did manage to save a few of those drones from that second expansion that got destroyed. And he's going to try to wall this off with barracks again, which seems a little overzealous. And there go my 3 Hydralisk. My brilliant plan at this point in time was to transition to Mutalisk and to send my 3 Hydras to their death. You'll note that I actually put up dual spires so I can get the research, and you can see that the research is going on both of these, or will be going on both of these shortly. I'm not sure why I do that, but I do wind up canceling it. Don't need that research going when I'm planning on moving on to units that don't use those abilities. So I get my +1s here. I get some more Mutalisk up. And right now you can see I'm moving down to check for an expansion down here. And he is still walling off. Getting out a few more Banshee, another siege tank. And 4 Banshee with 2 more on the way, I guess. That's formidable enough that I will have trouble with that unless I have detection, which I did not think to bring detection with these. Fortunately, he can't shoot at those with Banshees. But as you'll notice, those Banshees are on the move. They did not hang around his base for defense. Now, I took out those 2 SCVs there, and he is just letting me roll right into his base and destroy this. At this point, I could have done anything to his base I wanted to. I could have wiped out these siege tanks, I could have taken out the Banshees, Starport, but instead, in a moment of total retardation, I just fly my Mutas right over the top of his Marines, taking plenty of damage along the way. I think I lost one. And then, for some reason, I pull them back here so that they start attacking these. And a left click up here. So, 2/3 of them are up here, 1/3 of them down here, and I am just epically failing at taking out this expansion, while his Banshees are completely decimating this one. Now, unfortunately, he's about to lose his energy here, and that almost gets destroyed. Now, if I was smart, I would pull these Mutas right here, up here, and get some detection over here. And unfortunately, I lost all of my queens at this expansion, or this main, actually. It looks like he was poking out with a couple of Marines while that was happening, and he's expanding again. I'm not really sure what he's doing with these Marines. Does not make sense. Now you can see I'm moving over here to finish off this last refinery, taking out that SCV along the way, so he no longer has vision over here. Now that I have all these Mutalisk, I'm sending my drones back up here to establish that expansion again. Now, I imagine he's expecting that I've expanded here on the gold minerals again. because that makes a lot of sense to support these Mutalisk. As you can see, I'm constantly low on gas because these mutas are expensive. I'm only now getting those +2 attack up and armor upgrades. I guess it's called Carapace. And at this point, he's deciding to move out with what he has. He's out of minerals. He has a ton of gas, but can't use it. And an interesting thing is, no attack upgrade. No attack upgrade. No attack upgrade. He does not have upgrades on any of his units. So my Mutalisks are able to tear right through these Marines. I lose a few of them. Quite a few of them. But managed to decimate his army. He did not even have stem. No stem. And that looks like that's the end of the game. And you'll notice no GG because RedSixWhiskey likes to rage quit. It's kind of his thing. He enjoys it. But at the same time, we were on TeamSpeak with each other, and there are 2 more games to this series. It's a 3-part... It's not really a best of 5, but we played 3 games. So I will go ahead and cast those as well. And thank you for watching. This has been another GT500.org StarCraft 2 cast.